Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. It is Monday, May the 10th. Firstly, can I just say thank you for all the amazing messages. You guys rock. I really, really appreciate you as much as you seem to appreciate me. So honestly, it fills my heart up, and I will get back in contact with every single person who has got in contact over the last however long, maybe week or so. So yeah, I really appreciate it, guys, because it means the absolute world to me when people, I don't know, just get in contact and comment, and thank you so much. It genuinely, I know now. No, I didn't already know, but it's nice to know that you're giving value and people are getting something out of this podcast. So yeah, thank you so much for all the amazing feedback. Firstly, okay, I think that was firstly before. So secondly, what I want to do is, actually, you guys are my accountability partners here. So I have started this amazing journey today. Well, I say amazing journey. I have no idea. I'm a bit apprehensive, a bit scared, a bit nervous, but that is good. That means you're going in the right direction. I have a nutritionalist starting a 12-week program with me called Tommy. He actually is in the storage and removals business as well. And what we're going to do is get him on the podcast in around about 8 weeks' time because it's a 12-week program. And basically, we're trying to get my energies up. We're trying to lose weight as well. And we're just trying to make sure that I know what I'm eating in my body and what's right for me, what's wrong for me. I'm just educating myself a little bit more because my 40th birthday is coming up in July. And so I want to make sure that I am fit for 40. And to do that, then I want an expert. And just like I always say, find somebody who knows more than you and pay them and learn from them, educate yourself. And it's exactly what we're doing here. So yeah, hopefully my energy levels will be up if they actually need to be up. But yeah, I'm just excited about it. So I'm really, really excited about it and really excited to work with such an awesome guy as well. Because Tommy, it's like a brother from another mother. He's very motivational. He's very, so it'll be good. So I'm putting it out there right now to you guys to say that he's coming on the podcast in 8 weeks, because then I know that I've made a commitment on the podcast, which means that I can't fail this. So I've got to write down every single bit of food and drink that goes in my body. The drink's going to be the hard part. And I've got to map it down. And it's accountability to say, look, that he will be coming on the podcast and we're going to talk about the journey, because I really fundamentally believe that so many people listening to this, we concentrate on our business so much and we forget our health. And guess what? Your health is your business, because without health, there is no business. And I think it's something that in years to come, it'll be hand in hand. Business and health will be just as important as each other. But right now, everybody focuses on the business. And I, for one, think we need to reset the scales a little bit and focus more on fitness. Because if you don't feel right, then you can't perform correct. If you're not eating to the correct, what you're supposed to be, it's just, it comes hand in hand with performance of your business. And so we're going to map it out. And then we're also going to get Tommy on the podcast and we're going to give some information away, what you can do right away without actually working with Tommy. We're going to do all that. We're going to try and give tips away to how we can help improve everybody's, eating habits, I suppose. And you might be sat there thinking, well, I eat great. Well, brilliant. I'm over the moon. I don't eat bad, but I know I don't eat great. And so I want an expert to come on, and hopefully it'll give you guys some value as well. So that's in 8 weeks' time. And let's face it, we all want that beach bod, don't we? When we go to, mind you, if we're allowed on holiday this year, we all want that beach bod. Anyway, this is all about weekly figures. That is something that's coming up in 8 weeks' time. Super excited about it. So let's look at my weekly figures. Here we go. So last week, if I'm honest, I actually think it was a disappointing week all around. Very, very, in terms of positives, there probably is some positives that I'll find somewhere, but there's definitely a lot of negatives, and I'm going to go through. And I don't mean that we're down and bad, but I just mean that it's trending for me in the wrong direction, certain things. And this is why it's so important to make sure that you're on top of your game and you're looking at the figures, because then you can spot trends before they become habits. I love that. Spot trends before they become habits, because what we don't want to do is that we don't want to wake up one day and all of a sudden see the business that's been trending down or trending in the wrong direction for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and it's too late to do anything about it. So we've got to have our finger on the pulse to spot these things. Right, let's go through it then. Amount of quotes, so 53 quotes last week. Amount of quotes per day was 7.57. So good there, good. It's it is what it is. It's not. I mean, do you remember last year when I was hoping for 28 quotes? 28 quotes a week, that's what I wanted, 4 a day. And we're almost doubling that. So you can't complain there. We've been getting 60 quotes. It's anything over 50 is just absolutely bloody amazing. So yeah, it is what it is. Really happy with that. Number of reservations. Just go take a swig of tea. Don't worry, Tommy, I have actually put that down as well, because you've got to mark down everything you eat and drink. So I've already done that. Number of reservations were 11. So that's a conversion rate, quotes to reservations of 20.75, 20.75%. So not really good. We want at least another 5 there. So we wanted 16 to get up to 30%. So again, that's the second week running. The reservations weren't particularly good. Is it because we're not doing 4 weeks half price? Or is that too much of an easy way out for the team? Is it because subconsciously we're all looking for an easy way out? And is it too easy to say, yeah, it's definitely that? And then we don't look at ourselves. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with our sales technique and what we do, because obviously there isn't, but sometimes it can just creep in that we don't start asking this question, and then it becomes a habit and stuff. So is it something we're doing? Because that's 2 weeks in a row now. We've got to start looking at this more seriously. So 2 weeks in a row. I know it's still a small sample size, but it's just becoming enough now to pique my interest. And it will be a conversation with the team and just say, look, what is it? The 4 weeks? Can we do more? What are we doing? And the great thing is, I trust my team implicitly, and I believe that they trust me. I don't actually know this, they're probably listening thinking, you're joking, aren't you? So hopefully they trust me. I trust them. And so the great thing is, when we have a conversation, I know what they're telling me is 100% what they believe. So in terms of conversions, yeah, we do need to look at this now. We do need to just start having conversations about it, and just because if conversions are down 1 week, not bothered at all. Not even on Richter scale. If it's down 2 weeks, then it piques me interest, and it's just time for a little conversation. Just say, look, what's occurring? I remember last time I asked James and Angela. James came back and said, Dean, well, yep, the conversions were down, but if you look at the quotes, we had 40 quotes or whatever it was, and he went through them. 20 something of them didn't answer, so we never could get in contact with them again. And then there was 6 who was this, 6 who was that, and I was like, oh, brilliant, mate, yeah, fantastic. And so them conversations, that's why you need a conversation, because there could be a very, very simple explanation. And I feel like I'm over explaining it, because I know James and Angela listen to this, and I don't want them to think, oh, he's out with me on this show, because it's nothing like that at all. So I'm trying to get across that it's just because I'm worried that the 4 weeks half price might be having an impact, that we don't do it anymore. Has that been letting us down, or is it other reasons? So I don't know. I know we've got a new team member, Vanessa. So is it because we're coaching, and then when we're coaching, we're taking our eye off the ball of reservation? I don't know. And by the way, Vanessa is amazing. The feedback we've had from Vanessa is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, again, I'm over talking it because I know my team are absolutely the bombs, and you're probably thinking, well, the reservations, quotes to reservations at 20.75% isn't that bad. Yeah, but we're just used to being amazing. That's the problem. We're like good results. Anyway, I'm going to move on from this because I feel like I'm just over talking it. Is another bad. Forward movings 4, so that's 36% of M11 quotes for forward movings. Number of new movings 5. So again, we were supposed to be having 750 square foot moved in last week. So again, another question. What happened to those other 325 square foot? Why didn't they move in? So we didn't have the move-ins that we were supposed to. Did they cancel? Did they no-show? What happened? So yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of square footage move in at all, which is a little bit worrying if I'm honest. What happened to these move-ins? Have they gone somewhere else because of a half price offer? I don't know. So again, these are the conversations that we need to have. This is why it's so important to do weekly figures, my friends. Let's have a look. So that was a conversion rate of 9. This is conversions, quotes to move-ins of 9.43%. That's not good. That's not good at all. So what is the reason there? And are they moving somewhere else? What is the reason that people moved out didn't move in last week? And by the way, again, this is this. I want to really get across that this isn't me saying the team have messed up at all, because it's a circumstance. I trust my team. Like I keep saying, I feel like I need to get that across so much. I trust my team 100% implicitly. But we want to know the underlying reasons. What are they? Are we doing something wrong as a company in terms of the offer? Is there something we're not seeing? That's what we need to. That's why it's so important to have these conversations. Okay, number of times the van was rented out. Transit 4, Luton. How many times? Guess. Do you want to guess? 5. Well done, a lot of you. I can tell a lot of you got it right. So yeah, the Luton actually won this week. I always think the Transit wins, but I've been going through the monthly figures. By the way, the monthly figures episode will be out on Wednesday. And it was a really good month last month. Really good month. So well done, team. Need to get that in. So how many times was running presented out? It was 4 and 5. And I thought the Transit was winning all the time. But if you look at the monthly figures, it is so close. Right, where did our quotes come from? Google, 42. That is 79% of our quotes came from Google. Word of mouth was 1. That is 2%. Passing by was 13%, 7. Used before, Bever24. Removals, blog, Bing, all 0. Social media, 2. 3.77%. I was doing obviously Spanish conference, and was talking about social media marketing, and they were saying that, the other panelists were saying that social media marketing is so important. I disagree. I fundamentally disagree. I was like biting my tongue, because obviously it's good to have debate, because they obviously disagree with me, I disagree with them, and I just feel like that it was said that you're supposed to do 5 hours on social media every single week, and I was like, no, please, for God's sake, no, don't do it. And you can only go by what you see and what you think. And please don't think I'm dissing on social media, because I am one of social media's biggest fans. In the right environment, I've used it. In one of my other businesses, I use no advertisements, didn't add nothing on advertisements, and we turned over £100,000 in 6 months. Actual turnover, and it was a membership, so all filters down to the bottom line does that, and not one penny was spent on anything other. Well, they didn't even do any social media advertising. It was all done with social, and it was through Twitter, actually, because every single company, every single industry has its vessel, and by vessel I mean what is best in terms of social. Is it Facebook? Is it Insta? Because they all have different people on that and different demographics. Facebook is definitely the one for storage. There's no question about it, because of the demographics. They're a little bit older on Facebook, and the move-ins, the people who rent storage are a little bit older. All the stats tell you that. So it's Facebook. If you're going to do anything, Facebook is the one. But for me, saying spend 5 hours a week on Facebook or other social media channels, it's just incorrect. I respectfully disagree, because if you're going to do 5 hours of something, learn SEO for 5 hours, learn pay-per-clicks for 5 hours, because you know 100% that the customers are there, but you know you're going to get results from that. So if you've got 5 hours a week spare, then please don't mess around on Facebook. Please make sure that you understand and learn pay-per-clicks, SEO, because that is so much more important. The Google, look, 42 quotes we got from Google. We got 2 from social media. And by the way, we do spend a lot of time on social media. We do a lot of posts. We do more than 3 a week on social media. And so, yes, our posts are still out there, but we don't do, we do more than 3. Bloody hell, we do. I don't know exactly how many, but we do lots more than 3 per week. And so if you look at the quotes, 42 versus 2, and 2 is a really good week for us on social media. And I know what they're saying. They're saying that one post can get 20 customers and stuff, but you've got to look at that post and what it's about and where it was about. It was in the marketplace. I feel like it's not comparing apples for apples. It's apples and oranges. So yeah, I disagree. We've got to meet our customers where they are, and unfortunately. And I'm a massive fan of Gary Vee, where he's talking about social media. I've read all the social media books, but it's different for different industries, and doesn't matter what we want it to be like. It is what it is, and we've got to play what we see. and it's simple. Google wins. And yes, it's very, very dangerous to be reliant on one stream of quotes. Of course it is. But again, it is what it is with this industry. And so for me, if you do anything, obviously put some Facebook posts up there, 100%, but don't expect many customers from them. I maintain that you should do that. You have to do that because customers do check your Facebook to make sure you're a legitimate company, and they'll click through from your website. We've got the stats to prove it. The click from your website to Facebook, I'm not so sure about Facebook to your website, because your organic reach on Facebook is crazily low. We do retargeting on Facebook when they come to our website. We pixel them and then we retarget them on Facebook. Yeah, that's great. But organic posts, you've got to do them, but don't expect anything back from them, because your organic reach is absolutely terrible. Nuts. You're lucky if you get 20 people seeing it post and 20 people moving in. So yeah, for me, and I know people disagree, but that's great. That's why it's all about opinions. And there'll be definitely people listening who agree with the Facebook thing. And again, like I say, it's good, because the more we discuss it, the more we disagree with each other, the better that we'll be, more informed we all become. Because you hear the fors and you hear the against. I just wish that I could have debated that, because yeah, I'm a big believer in no. They're a big believer in yes. Maybe the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I doubt it. But yeah, I didn't think it was a time. I didn't think was I didn't know if we was allowed to debate it or not, because anyway, but I didn't do anyway. I bit my tongue and didn't say anything. But yeah, for me, it's all about Google. Google is the king, and we've got to make sure that you know your pay-per-clicks, you understand it, because if you just can increase conversions 1% or click-throughs 1%, or you can do something that saves your budget, then it's massively worth it. So yeah, for me, it's spending that 5 hours. Don't spend 5 hours on Facebook creating posts and stuff. Make sure that you educate yourself and learn SEO, learn pay-per-clicks. That is what is more important in my eyes. And I completely understand that I could be 100% wrong, but I'm just talking for me. Okay, so let's have a word from our sponsor. And I've just had a swig of tea. So last week, total square foot moved in was 425 square foot. So we had no other move-ins at all. So we had 425 square foot moved in. Oh, killer. If you remember, we were supposed to have 1,100 square foot move out, or round about there. It was 675. So not too bad at all in terms of move outs, less than 100 a day. And so we was negative 250. Still upset with that 425. We should have been positive last week. Hopefully this week's gonna be better, but looking at it, it's not. Right, amount of rooms moved in were 5. Amount of rooms moved out were 9. So that's 3, 4, 9 internal rooms occupied. Containers in, 0. Containers out, 0. 22 occupied. Car parking, 0 in, 0 out. We got 15. Store occupancy is 81.66%. Here is something good. Average sales per move-in, where this is for merchandise, where, excuse me, £30.23. So that was a massive increase from before. What else are we looking at here? Average insurance sold this week was 5,000. We sold, that's per moving, 5,000 per moving. We actually sold £25,000 worth of insurance this week. So again, well done, team. Around about the 5,000, we're going to be averaging that soon. So yeah, really well done there. Over the moon that we averaged so much for the insurance. So next week, amount of move-ins due this week, 6. Amount of square foot due in this next week is 350. I don't know whether that includes any of the people that didn't move in last week, because we had, say, 300 square foot that didn't move in last week. So what's happened to that square foot? Are they just not coming in? Can we not? We need to find out. So basically, I don't think that includes any of those. So we're only due 350 this week, and we're due out 725 of square footage. So it could be a tough week. It's too early to say about this 4 weeks half price, but also I would use this get out of free jail card if I was asked, well, why the conversion rates from quotes to reservations down. It's easy to say, it's obviously easy to say, well, it's the half price offer, but the problem is it could easily be the half price offer. So we're gonna have to let numbers speak and see what we're doing. Maybe what we do is a hybrid model where we actually have some rooms half price and some other rooms not. And the reason why we do this is because of because some rooms are more, obviously we've only got a certain amount of availability on some rooms, so there's no point giving a 4-week half price. We've only got 2 rooms, free kind of thing. So maybe we have a look at that. Okay, something that was really good last week. I believe this is the first time I'm actually opening it. I know that this next coming week should be fantastic. Oh yeah, it was good last week. Holy moly, the amount of revenue. And at the end of the day, revenue is the only KPI that matters. However, the only way you get to revenue is with the other KPIs. The other KPIs feed the revenue. And so that in future, the revenue can only be strong if other KPIs I've spoken about just then are strong. It's like a feed. We're feeding the revenue. And so if they aren't strong, then the revenue can't be strong. But last week it was really strong. And that's a result of a previous month's. Okay, so weekly income from Stormore, the net revenue was £18,571.59. Whoa, we had bounce direct debits of £490.42. So that's poo as well. Excuse me. And Beverly, we had the net revenue for Beverly was £6,182.25. And we had bounce direct debits of 0. And so that means we took a whopping £24,753.84. Nearly 25 grand last week we took. So that was fan daddy dodo. So overall, yes, I don't want to say it was I don't think it was a good week, but I don't want you guys to feel like that I'm being all negative on it. The only reason I'm being like this is because we've got to be proactive rather than reactive. And yes, we're a little bit reactive because obviously these are last week's figures, but now we can be proactive on it. We can have the conversations internally. We can make the changes if we need to change anything. We can have a look at what's working, what's not working, and then we can make this week better and then the following week's better as well. So for me, I kind of like it when we get weeks like this because I can really dig my teeth into it and we can really get down to the crux of it. And I know what you're saying, it's only 1 week, but it was the same last week. And we want to be back having them 4-figure weeks and 4-figure weeks of move-ins, of square footage. Where have they gone? What's happening with them? And so, yeah, it's good. There's a little bit of work to do. There may be no problems, but there may be some problems. And so we just need to have a look at it and say, right, okay, is the 4 weeks happening? Is this now is the market slowing down? Is that the reason? The end of the stamp duty? But then we're getting the quotes, so you won't imagine so because that's the first telltale sign. Anyway, so I've really enjoyed this podcast. I really enjoy weeks like this because I can have the internal conversations so we can improve. And that's what it's all about, my friends. All right, dudettes, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I, my friends, will speak to you on Wednesday when I go through my monthly figures. And there's some good monthly figures there. And that's what we're aiming for with these weeks. We're all aiming to make sure it's a strong week, a strong month at the end of it. All right, dudettes, I'll speak to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.